In this video, we are going to see how to onboard a log, especially from a Linux server. So we can see the complexity of assigning user privileges and configuring the custom log. This is not actually custom log. We will see the path how custom log being added. So in this scenario, we will see Apache, how to take the Apache log file. As we use the website, access log will be continuously created, and if there is any error happen, error logs also will be created. So there will be two logs actually. So we will see how to onboard those in this area. So once we go to this Datadog dashboard integration section, so this is one of the place to easily go and identify. Since we are running Apache, it is detected, otherwise we have to search it here. So either way, once we go here, if we click it, it will guide us on how to configure that. So that's a path we have to go. So this particular settings I already done, but anyhow I will show it. Then for log onboarding, we are going to do these two things. Log enable true, then pointing the log paths of these two. So the log will come to the Datadog server. So where this is located, so we are going to see in Ubuntu server. So the Datadog already available in this path /etc slash datadog-agent. So here, if we list, we can see all the Datadog files. Just note this point. Datadog-agent is the user, and it have a group called Datadog-agent. So when we access the log, we need to make sure this Datadog-agent is part of another group called the sudo related group. So most probably that is ADM or some user is there. We have to assign that as well. Right. Now the log file. So in this configuration, we are looking for a config apache.d config.conf.yaml. So this is located in conf.d folder. This have the folder, all the config folder files and folders. So main config available in datadog.yaml, but all the module related configs are available in conf.d folder. This is a folder. Inside there apache.d, then conf.yaml will be there. Very first time conf.yaml will look like conf.yaml.example or something. So that won't be included. Once we rename, it will be included. So that is a point. So this particular server I already edited, so that example extension won't be there. Direct file will be there. So we'll see. Apache. Another point noted, I'm already as sudo, so root login. So when you use, just watch it out. Otherwise, every time you have to include the command sudo. Otherwise, this won't work because DD agent is another user, but your normal login will be some other login, right? So you won't be login as DD agent. So make sure either you have to go as sudo or jump to sudo as a root user, then use it. Here, so they asked to configure the logs. So either you can configure the logs. Yeah, it's already there. You have to enable this one. At the same time, you have to enable the previous few things like init config instance, Apache status URL. So they give us URL to poll it and check. So we can give the URL. This is already done. So to quickly search in VI editor, so you have to type slash, then you have to type like Apache status or something, whatever line you want to go. Apache underscore. So this is how we search it in VI editor, if anyone don't know Linux versions. So it is available here. The commented lines are already removed. So this is an activated one, and the URL is given. So it will fall into that URL and do some sort of health check as they ask we put it. After doing this, we need to go and enable this version on the same file, Apache config. So in your scenario, if you don't have Apache related one, or if it is a custom log you are editing, don't worry about this file path apache.d conf.yaml. You can create your own folder name. So for example, I want to have ABC module. So you can type abc.d, then create a conf.yaml and make sure this structure is taken. So it will say logs, then type file, then the path, there is a source name, there is a service name, then subcategory name. All the values can be anything you want, apply it. You want to point another log pattern, then again give a line break, then another block initiate same as the earlier, point that. This particular path can be a kind of regex pattern. For example, if this file is access1.log, access2.log or date formatted, then don't worry, put the path up to this point, then asterisk, or if access123 access asterisk dot log, like that you can give the name. So note that point as well. So currently we are working on the Apache designated folder. Yes, as I mentioned, you can create your own folder and configure it. After finishing this, we will come back to the main file and check whether this is enabled. So once this is enabled, just a matter of restarting and generating logs and go and check it. So we need to jump to the logs line, which we were already there. So again, I'm putting a slash, try to search it. So logs line we came. This is the line we are going to enable. So to enable that one, we have to make sure where the Apache log is sitting. So var logs Apache 2, it's based on wherever we are staying. So on your scenario, if it is a custom log, just give the exact path where you are going to give. So before enabling this one, we will jump back and go and see whether this particular folder have the log or not. Then we will see whether it is generating a log or not. So exit is escape, press the escape key, then colon, Q, then not. So quiet, but don't write. That's what we are trying to say. Then we want to see whether the logs available on that path. So simply we give the path. So we give ls, then minus hyphen L to give this vertical view, then H to give a human readable capacities like this capacity, otherwise it will show in byte. So give this one. So it will allow you to see the logs in the path. So as they mentioned, it is correct. Access log is there, error log is there. And as I mentioned, there are 1 to 3 increment is there, but don't worry about that. These are backups. In case if you have incremental log file and which is a reasonable log file, then you have to enable a pattern. Otherwise, in this scenario, hard-coded path can be given. And here we can see it's belong to root user because we are running Apache through root, and the ADM group is the one having the ADM group is the one we have to assign our Datadog as well. Right. So we will go back to the log editing, the config editing. So we came back. Then again, we go to that line log. This is a line. So logs there. We will simply open it because this is exactly matching as we wanted. So we will enable it. So again, mentioning in your scenario, you have to go for your log path. So there are 2 spaces I am deleting. So same way I have to delete here also because indentation very important. So everywhere I have to delete that 2 space. So one is that hash mark, other one is 1 space I deleted. So I'm just continuing the same pattern. Python script and YAML files following the indentation seriously because they don't have nested option like brackets and all. So they follow indentation. So we need to follow that. One thing to tell, these Datadog modules are developed in Python. That's why custom checks if we are doing it is Python. So we enabled and all the details are given. Service name also given. So as I said, source category not introduced, but here it's not available. Not a big problem. So we will leave it as it is and see how it's working. So this file is saved. Now we need to go to the datadog config, this file, datadog.yaml. This is the main config. As we see here on the etc datadog-agent folder, this is the main file, datadog.yaml file. So this is a place they ask to enable log enable true. So we will again do vi, then datadog.yaml file, enter. Then we need to search for it again. So slash the file name, enter, it goes there. So logs config section is there. Inside here, possibly they will have the enable is there here. So in this place also they can set the path, but dedicated folders are good, so we can control it more better way. So that's why we put it in Apache section. So here I think I forgot to tell in the previous edit. So if I try to type something here, it won't work because it is currently in a read-only mode. So you have to press I button, just I, then just note it down. There will be a cursor coming. So I given right insert, not cursor, insert word came. Now only your keyboard will work in edit mode. So we edit that. Now it is in false. Careful, change it to true. True. Then press the escape key. Now we want to write it. Colon W for write. Enter it. Then it will write it down. Now we have to restart that one. So restart command on Ubuntu is this one, systemctl restart datadog-agent. So once we restarted, it will try to read, but only problem is now the particular log files are ADM group. So we need to assign datadog-agent user, this user DD agent user to that group. So no point of restarting. I will add to that group. So we are already sudo, otherwise we have to type sudo normally, right? But anyhow, I'm typing it sudo, then usermod, USCRMOD, then hyphen a uppercase G, ADM group, and DD agent. Once you give the command like this, DD agent will be part of ADM group as well. It will be part of both group. Now restart the agent. And it will start to collect the logs. Now we are going to see, before go to the Datadog, we need to generate logs line, new line. Existing line won't be taken. So we need to generate new line, and we need to make sure the new lines are getting added. So there's a command called tail. I will clear it and come back. Right. There's a command called tail -f. Then put this path, then access.log, enter it. So it will show the last few lines and keep as it is. When we start to navigate, this is access.log. So there will be, every hit will have one line. That's a way of working in Apache. And they will say like some sort of which URL being accessed. So you can see this is the URL we gave, like here. This is the one we gave. So that is being polled. It is polling. Even timeline we can see, hopefully it's every 5 minutes polling. So this is polling actually, again it came. So this URL being accessed by the agent, then response code is 200, so it's a good response. Like that it goes. Now I'm going to navigate, actual navigation in the website, so you will see more hits, right? So this is not 5 minutes, it's 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds it's hitting. So huge traffic anyhow. So we want to just navigate view, so all details will come here. So a lot of traffic here now. So all these supposed to be onboarded to Datadog by now. So we'll go here and live tail. This is one of the place to see if the log is being ingested. That will be listed here. So see, it started to list all the logs in this area. So we can put further filter and see also, like a service or source, that is based on what we define here. So we have something called source, service, both are named as Apache. So those filter can be applied here. So service, then it will suggest, or we have to type it. Then a new line will have that particular filter. Otherwise, we'll put 15 minutes and see. Yeah. So service Apache is filtered here. So in this point, I wanted to tell one more point. Even after configuring all these things, you may not get the log here, and there won't be any errors visible even. Reason could be because um, this is not being ingested by Datadog. It means it's not recording, because they have a mechanism called indexing. So configuration, go to configuration, logs configuration, and indexes. So currently they have a main index. This is not safe to practice in the production environment. So in the main index, they enable filter as asterisk. So what will happen, whatever comes, it will record it. But once gone production, they will charge for the capacity of the log, and performance impact also there. So eventually we supposed to delete this one and go for individual logs. So in my scenario, I will tell Apache log. In that Apache log, so I will create new index, and then I have to apply the filters. So when I apply the filter, I have to say the service and all, source service and all correctly, and give an index name. Then I will delete the main one. So what will happen, when it is matching only, it will start to store. The purpose is, one is controlling that, other one is we can give a retention policy also. If no index, then we don't know how long we can store the log file. So using this mechanism, we can control the retention policy also, how long it will store, right? So simply the log onboarding we seen, how to onboard the log, how to get it to this point, right? So log analysis can see that. Then upcoming tutorials, we will see how to use the logs, and how to alert on the logs. Those we can see there in the upcoming videos. So that's all for the log part.